Good morning, folks. Heath here. We have recently had the question come up again about why the Mittleider weekly feed gets wet after mixing it, and asked what they can do to prevent it. I'd like to address this again. It's been a few years, so I will first share with you the why it happens and a couple of options that you have to try to mitigate this problem. First, the cause of the dampness in the weekly feed is the Epsom salt. When it is combined with everything, it starts to accumulate moisture, and that moisture is distributed throughout the weekly feed. Now, there are two ways that we can mitigate this problem. The first, and it's in the instruction packet that comes with your micronutrients that you need to make the weekly feed, is for every 25 pounds of the NPK that you mix together, you're going to add half a pound of perlite, and that's on that instruction sheet. So to do this, you would add 25 pounds of the NPK, 4 pounds of the Epsom salt, 10 ounces, a single packet of the micronutrients, and 1/2 pound of perlite. You mix it all together, and the perlite will help to absorb the moisture that is caused by the Epsom salt being combined with the other ingredients. I would also suggest that you don't mix a 50-pound bag all at once. Do 25 pounds at a time, add the perlite, and if you have the freezer space, store the vast majority of what you mix up. So you're going to have right about 30 pounds of this all together stored in the freezer. That will keep it from pulling up the moisture, and you'll be able to apply your weekly feed as a dry mixture easier and for longer. Perlite is the ingredient that most people that run into issues miss. It's only mentioned briefly on the instructions. Now, the other option, and this is what I typically do here, I will mix up the NPK, the micronutrients, but I don't add the Epsom salt. I don't add the Epsom salt until I get ready to go to the garden for the week. I'm not a mathematician, but I'll explain how I've come up with this number. So if I add 25 pounds of the NPK, 10 ounces of the micronutrients, if you divide the 16 ounces by the 10 ounces in the packet, we get a fraction of 0.625. So 25.625 pounds of the micronutrients and the NPK, and divide that by, according to the instructions, we would typically add 4 pounds of the Epsom salt to the 25 pounds NPK and 10 ounces of the micronutrients. If you divide 25.625 by 4, you end up with 6 pounds and 4 ounces. So every time that you need more weekly feed for the garden, you mix 6.4 pounds of the NPK and micronutrient combination, and then you add 1 pound of Epsom salt to that mixture. You mix it all up, and it creates a smaller amount that is going to start to draw moisture. You feed your garden for the week, and any surplus that I have, I put in a gallon-sized Ziploc bag, and I put it in the freezer. I come out next week before my weekly feed, pull it out of the freezer, let it thaw, and I have a dry mix, a Gamma Seal lid on a bucket that is stored in a climate-controlled part of your home. A basement works where it's consistent temperature and humidity, helps to mitigate that moisture absorption. If you leave it mixed outside in your garden, where it is exposed to moisture in the air, it is going to accumulate that moisture in your weekly feed much faster. Keep it in the house, in a climate-controlled area, in a sealed container, and you won't see as much accumulation of the moisture. But truly, just adding the perlite is going to significantly help to cut down on the moisture that you see in your weekly feed. There you go, folks. Right about a 5-minute video. Hope you all are well, and happy gardening.